Ladies and gentlemen, every morning when you open your eyes, you hold in your hands the power to decide whether this day will move you closer to success or further into mediocrity. Most people rise and drift, allowing circumstance to command their destiny. But you, if you will speak the right words into your mind each morning, can shape your future with absolute precision. In the next few minutes, I will give you the daily declarations that train your mind to win, no matter where you are starting from. Every morning when you wake, you are handed a brand new canvas, unstained and unmarked. On it, you will paint the picture of your life for that day, and over time these pictures accumulate, forming the great mural of your destiny. The way you begin your morning has far more power over your future than most people ever realize. And so, if you want to train your mind for success, you must start each day with deliberate thought, with words that set the stage for everything that follows. For the mind is like fertile soil. What you plant first, it nurtures all day long. If you rise and plant weeds of doubt, complaint, or fear, those weeds grow unchecked. But if you rise and plant seeds of faith, gratitude, and determination, then in time you will reap a harvest of success beyond anything you have yet imagined. You must say to yourself each morning, "Today I am in control of my thoughts, my actions, and my destiny. I choose to think in terms of abundance, not scarcity, of progress, not stagnation. I believe in my ability to create the life I desire because I know the mind becomes what it dwells upon. I am focused on my goal, and every step I take today moves me closer to its realization." These words are not idle affirmations. They are instructions to the subconscious, commands issued to the most powerful mechanism known to man. Your mind, when given clear direction, works tirelessly day and night to fulfill what you impress upon it. When you repeat such words in the quiet of the morning, you awaken the giant within you. Consider the great law that we become what we think about. Your dominant thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your results. Most men drift through life, never realizing this law exists, never taking hold of the wheel of their own mind. They rise in the morning and allow circumstance to dictate their outlook. They listen to the news, they recall yesterday's troubles, and they surrender themselves to chance. And because they give no definite orders to the mind, they reap a harvest of confusion. But you are not like them. You have chosen to rise and to speak words of purpose. You have chosen to instruct your mind that today will be a day of growth, of progress, of service, and of achievement. And because you do this day after day, your life cannot help but change. Say to yourself, "I am grateful for this day. I am grateful for the opportunities before me, the challenges that will strengthen me, and the people I will serve. I see in every obstacle the seed of greater benefit. I am not limited by my past, nor am I bound by fear. My future is created by the thoughts I think and the actions I take today, and today I choose excellence." Gratitude is the most magnetic of attitudes, for when you are grateful, you attract more of what you appreciate. You shift your focus away from lack and onto abundance. You open your eyes to possibilities that others overlook, and in doing so, you align yourself with the flow of opportunity. Each morning you must remember that success is not an accident. It is not the product of luck, nor the whim of fate. Success is the natural result of consistent thought and consistent action. It comes to the man who sets a goal, who thinks of it every day, and who acts with persistence till it becomes reality. Therefore, in the morning, remind yourself of your definite purpose. State it clearly. This is what I want. This is the goal I am moving toward. Then picture it in your mind as though it were already accomplished. See the life you desire, feel the emotions that accompany it, and know in your heart that as surely as the seed contains the tree, so too does your vision contain its fulfillment. Speak also of discipline. Say, "I am the master of my habits, and my habits determine my future. Today, I will act in harmony with my highest purpose. I will use my time wisely. I will not squander it in distraction or in worry, but invest it in action, learning, and service. I will do the thing I ought to do, whether I feel like it or not, because I know each act of discipline compounds into greatness." Discipline, repeated daily, transforms the ordinary man into the extraordinary. It is the bridge between intention and achievement. When you remind yourself of this in the morning, you strengthen the resolve to keep that bridge intact throughout the day. The words you say each morning are not meant to impress others. They are meant to impress upon yourself the truth that already exists. For you have within you the capacity for greatness, the same capacity that has lifted men from obscurity to leadership, from poverty to wealth, from despair to joy. The difference lies only in what they chose to believe, to say, and to act upon. Your mind does not distinguish between truth and suggestion. It accepts what you tell it with repetition and conviction. And so, when you rise and declare that you are capable, that you are grateful, that you are disciplined, your mind goes to work to make these words real. It is said that a man's life is a reflection of his most dominant thoughts. If you dwell on limitation, you create limitation. If you dwell on possibility, you create possibility. Each morning gives you the chance to decide which of these you will cultivate. And so you must choose possibility. You must choose Thadju. You must choose to believe that what you want most can and will be achieved if you think rightly, work diligently, and persist unfalteringly. There will be days when you feel weary, when your goal seems distant and your progress slow. On such days, the morning words you speak will carry you through. They will remind you of who you are and why you began. They will anchor you in purpose when emotion threatens to sway you. That is why you must never neglect this ritual. For the mind, like the body, requires daily training. You cannot expect strength if you neglect exercise. You cannot expect clarity if you neglect reflection. And you cannot expect success if you neglect to instruct your mind toward it each morning. So rise with conviction. Say to yourself, I am capable of far more than I have yet achieved. I hold within me talents and strengths waiting to be expressed. I will not waste this day. I will use it to grow, to serve, and to move steadily toward my goal. My thoughts are disciplined, my actions are purposeful, and my future is certain. Repeat these words not as a wish, but as a command. For the mind takes orders from its master, and you are its master. I will use it to grow, to serve, and to move steadily toward my goal. My thoughts are disciplined, my actions are purposeful, and my future is certain. Repeat these words not as a wish, but as a command. For the mind takes orders from its master, and you are its master. Each morning is a quiet contract with yourself, a reaffirmation of the life you have chosen to build. And what you affirm again and again in those early hours becomes the steel in your backbone throughout the day. When distractions appear, when difficulties rise, when others surrender to excuses, you will be held upright by the words you placed deep within your consciousness at dawn. It is in these moments that the difference between those who drift and those who achieve is most clearly seen. For the one who has no morning command is easily swayed, but the one who has impressed upon his mind a definite purpose is immovable, guided by an inner compass that does not falter. Say to yourself, I am not defined by the limitations of yesterday. I am renewed this morning. My power is in this moment, and I will use it to build the life I desire. Too often men carry yesterday's failures into today, as though they were chains that cannot be broken. They rise with regret instead of resolve, with self-pity instead of self-command, and so their lives become a repetition of old mistakes. But you are different, for each morning you declare yourself free of the past. You remind yourself that the only reality you can touch is today, and that today can be used wisely, regardless of what came before. When you think in this manner, the burden of failure is lifted, and what remains is the freedom to act. Say also, I will look for opportunity where others see only obstacles. I will train my eyes to recognize potential, my mind to recognize solutions, and my heart to remain courageous in the face of challenge. Success comes not from avoiding difficulty, but from confronting it with the right spirit. Every man who has achieved anything worthwhile has done so by meeting problems with determination and converting them into stepping stones. By repeating such words each morning, you condition yourself to meet each obstacle with calmness and confidence, and this attitude alone separates the successful from the defeated. There is immense power in words spoken with conviction. Each syllable carries an instruction to the subconscious mind, which in turn influences your emotions, your perceptions, and your actions. When you rise each morning and declare yourself strong, capable, and destined for progress, your subconscious begins to align your entire being with these commands. Fluence is the way you carry yourself, the way you speak to others, the opportunities you recognize, and the energy with which you pursue your tasks. People will sense it in you. They will feel drawn to your certainty, for certainty is magnetic. It attracts cooperation, trust, and respect. And all of this begins with the quiet ritual of spoken words at the start of your day. You must also remind yourself of service. Say, "Today I will give more than I take. I will contribute value to every person I encounter. I will listen more intently, work more diligently, and extend kindness where it is needed." For true success is not measured by what you accumulate alone, but by what you contribute. And the paradox is that in giving, you also receive. In serving, you expand your influence, you gain allies, and you cultivate goodwill that multiplies back into your own life. Each morning, when you remind yourself of service, you step away from selfishness and align yourself with a greater power, one that ensures your growth is steady and enduring. Let your morning words also direct your imagination. Say, "I see clearly the life I am building. I see the goal already accomplished, the rewards already mine, the life already lived, and because I see it, I move toward it with certainty." Imagination is the workshop of the mind. Everything you see in the world that is useful, beautiful, or valuable began first as a thought in someone's imagination. The man who can hold a vision in his mind long enough and strong enough will eventually hold it in his hand. By visualizing your future each morning, by adding detail and emotion to that vision, you impress it deeper upon your subconscious, and your actions throughout the day become aligned with bringing it to reality. Some mornings, doubt will creep in. A quiet voice may whisper, "What if you fail? What if you are not capable? What if this doctor is too big?" It is at that very moment that your morning ritual proves its worth, for you will answer that voice not with fear but with conviction. You will say, "I am not defined by fear, I am defined by faith. I will act, and in acting I will grow. I may stumble, but I will rise again. Each step, whether large or small, moves me forward. Nothing can stop a man who refuses to quit." And when you answer doubt with such words, you silence it. You replace uncertainty with faith, and that faith becomes the fuel that carries you into action. Each morning you must also remind yourself of patience. Say, "I understand that success is not the fruit of a single day, but of many days compounded. I will not rush the harvest, for I know the seed grows in its own season. I will remain steadfast, persistent, and unshaken." In a world that demands instant results, patience becomes a rare and powerful virtue. The man who can plant a seed and tend to it day after day without demanding immediate reward is the man who eventually enjoys a forest. Most give up too soon. They water the soil for a time, see no growth, and abandon it. But the one who repeats each morning that patience is his ally will continue, and in time he will reap the harvest others never lived to see. Add to this the reminder of resilience. Say, "I am unbreakable in spirit. Life may bend me, but it will not break me. I will adapt, I will adjust, and I will overcome." Resilience is the quality that turns defeat into wisdom and setback into preparation. Without it, men crumble under pressure, but with it, you can withstand storms and emerge stronger. By declaring resilience each morning, you set your mind to endure whatever the day may bring, knowing that no matter what happens, you will find a way through. Remind yourself, too, of joy. Say, "I will not overlook the beauty of this day. I will find delight in small things, in simple moments, in quiet victories. I will not wait until my goal is achieved to feel happiness, for happiness is both the journey and the destination." Too many postpone joy, believing it must wait until success is secured. But joy, practiced daily, is itself a force of success. A joyful spirit attracts friends, opens doors, and fuels perseverance. By choosing joy each morning, you make success not only achievable, but enjoyable. Finally, each morning affirm your worth. Say, "I am worthy of success. I am worthy of abundance. I am worthy of happiness. I will not shrink from my potential, nor will I apologize for pursuing greatness. My life has value, and I will live it fully." Many fail because deep down they do not believe they deserve more than they already have. Their words may speak of ambition, but their heart whispers of unworthiness, and so they sabotage themselves. But when you rise each morning and affirm your worth, you dissolve that hidden barrier. You remind yourself that you are not only capable of success, but deserving of it. And when belief and worth are joined, action becomes unstoppable. My life has value, and I will live it fully. Many fail because deep down they do not believe they deserve more than they already have. Their words may speak of ambition, but their heart whispers of unworthiness, and so they sabotage themselves. But when you rise each morning and affirm your worth, you dissolve that hidden barrier. You remind yourself that you are not only capable of success, but deserving of it. And when belief and worth are joined, action becomes unstoppable. Now say to yourself, I am prepared to meet this day with courage. I will not hesitate. I will not procrastinate. I will take action while others delay, and because of this, I will advance while others remain still. Action is the great divider. Countless men and women think, plan, and dream, but only those who act turn dreams into substance. Your morning ritual must plant the seed of action so firmly that hesitation has no room to. Oh, grow. Each morning, as you declare yourself a man of action, you set in motion a chain of decisions that gather power as the day unfolds. Action builds confidence, and confidence builds momentum. B. Before long, what began as a simple declaration becomes a way of life. You must also say, I am calm and centered. No matter what happens around me, I remain in control of myself. For a man who cannot govern himself cannot govern his circumstances. Life will always bring storms. There will be noise, confusion, and pressure. But the one who begins his day with the affirmation of calmness carries within him a stillness that no storm can disturb. This inner steadiness allows him to see clearly when others panic, to make wise choices when others act rashly, and to persist when others surrender. In the long run, calmness becomes a decisive advantage. Speak also of learning. Say, today I will learn something new. I will sharpen my mind as I strengthen my body. I will seek wisdom from every experience, knowledge from every encounter, and lessons from every mistake. The world belongs to the learner, for learning is the foundation of growth. The man who ceases to learn has ceased to live, while the man who learns daily expands his capacity for success. By affirming each morning that you are a learner, you condition yourself to approach every situation with openness, curiosity, and humility. You remind yourself that growth is not finished, that you are in constant progress, and that with every passing day you are becoming more than you were before. Say too, I will not waste my time on trivial matters. I will focus on the things that count, the things that move me closer to my purpose. Time is the most precious possession of man. Unlike money, it cannot be regained once it is spent. Most squander it on distractions, on worry, on complaints, on meaningless pursuits. But each morning when you affirm that your time is sacred, you remind yourself to guard it as a treasure. You become conscious of how you spend it, more deliberate in how you use it, and in the end, this single practice of valuing your time sets you apart from the multitudes who drift. Affirm discipline once more. I will finish what I begin. I will not abandon my work halfway. I will see it through until completion. Too many begin with excitement but fade with fatigue. They underestimate the power of perseverance. But when you train yourself each morning to think of completion, to see yourself carrying through to the end, you develop a habit that ensures success in any endeavor. Discipline is the rarest of virtues, and yet it is the one that makes all the difference. By speaking it aloud each morning, you strengthen its hold on you. Say, I will not envy another man's success. Instead, I will be inspired by it. I will not compare myself to others, for I walk my own path at my own pace. Envy poisons the spirit and blinds the eyes to opportunity. It leads a man to resentment instead of effort, complaint instead of action. But admiration ignites possibility. When you choose to see in another's success the proof of what can be done, you fuel your own drive. Every morning, remind yourself that the achievements of others are not threats but signals that greater things are possible. In this way, you transform envy into encouragement. Tell yourself, I am consistent. I will not waver. I will rise each morning with the same determination, the same faith, the same clarity. My habits define me, and my habits are strong. Consistency is the silent architect of greatness. It does not dazzle in a single day, but over weeks, months, and years, it builds structures that astonish the world. The one who is consistent outpaces the one who is sporadic, no matter how brilliant that other may seem. By affirming your consistency each morning, you lay another brick in the foundation of an enduring life. Affirm too your health. Say, "My body is strong, my energy is abundant, my health is precious, and I will care for it." For what use is success without the vitality to enjoy it? Many neglect their health in pursuit of their goals, only to find later that their achievements cannot be savored. But the man who speaks each morning of strength and health reminds himself to nourish his body, to move it, to rest it, and to preserve it. His body then becomes the faithful servant of his mind, and together they achieve what neither could alone. Declare, "I will not dwell on fear, for fear is only a shadow. I will replace it with faith, for faith is the substance of things yet unseen." Fear has stopped more men than failure ever has. It whispers warnings of dangers that never arrive, of losses that never occur. But faith, repeated each morning, grows until it becomes stronger than fear. Faith is the assurance that your effort will not be wasted, that your persistence will not be in vain, that the world rewards the man who continues. Each morning you remind yourself of this. Fear loosens its grip, and faith takes its rightful place at the helm of your mind. Affirm generosity. Say, "I will give freely of my kindness, my encouragement, my time, and my resources, for I know that in giving I am never diminished." The world responds to generosity with return. It builds relationships, it creates loyalty, it strengthens bonds. The generous man attracts allies and partners, while the selfish man isolates himself. By telling yourself each morning that you are generous, you train yourself to see opportunities to give, and in time, your life becomes rich in ways beyond money, rich in connection, respect, and love. Finally say, "I will remember that each morning is a gift. I am alive, I am able, I am free, and I will not squander this privilege." Too many forget the miracle of simply being alive. They rise with complaints rather than gratitude, blind to the sheer possibility in front of them. But the man who begins his day acknowledging the gift of life approaches everything with wonder, with vigor, with date. Affirmation. He does not waste his chance, he uses it to the fullest. He does not waste his chance, he uses it to the fullest. Say to yourself, "I am not distracted by noise. I am focused on what matters. I will not scatter my energy on what does not serve my purpose. I direct my attention toward progress, and I guard my mind as a watchman guards a gate." Distraction is the thief of greatness. It tempts men with trivial pleasures, with idle talk, with constant interruption, and yet the man who begins each morning declaring his mastery over attention creates an invisible shield around his purpose. He works while others are pulled away. He advances while others pause. In time, he holds in his hand the results they only wished for. Affirm this truth. I am persistent. I will not be turned aside by delay, disappointment, or rejection. I will rise again and again until my goal is reached. Persistence is more powerful than talent, more valuable than luck, more dependable than inspiration. It is the force that turns ordinary men into legends. Each morning you must remind yourself of it, for persistence is not a single act, but a repeated choice. With each new dawn, you decide again to press forward, no matter how long the road, no matter how steep the climb. The one who persists always arrives, while the one who quits never does. Say, I will speak words of strength, not weakness. I will speak words of possibility, not limitation. My tongue will reinforce my vision, not sabotage it. Words shape not only the mind, but the environment around you. People hear what you say, and they respond in kind. If you speak of defeat, they begin to doubt you. If you speak of faith and determination, they begin to believe in you. Your own ears hear your words as well, and they sink deeper into your subconscious. Each morning, when you declare that your speech will be strong, you set the tone for conversations, for decisions, and for the image others form of you. And that image, built day by day, becomes a foundation for opportunity. Say to yourself, I am patient with people, but relentless with my vision. I understand that men grow at different paces, that circumstances unfold in their own time, but I will never loosen my grip on the future I seek. This balance of patience and relentlessness is rare. Too often men are impatient with others and soft with themselves. They demand from the world but fail to demand from their own effort. When you reverse this, when you demand from yourself yet extend patience to others, you gain respect, harmony, and power. And this habit, repeated each morning, creates a character that is steady, wise, and admired. Declare, I am adaptable. When the path is blocked, I find another. When one plan fails, I create a better one. I am not defeated by change, I am strengthened by it. Change is the only constant in life, and those who resist it are broken by it. Yet those who embrace it, who bend without breaking, who learn to adjust and redirect, are the ones who thrive. By affirming adaptability each morning, you train your mind not to fear the unexpected, but to welcome it. In time, change itself becomes your ally, carrying you forward while others stand still in resistance. Say, I am determined to master myself before I attempt to master circumstance. I will not be ruled by anger, laziness, or doubt. I am the commander of my own faculties. Self-mastery is the highest form of success, for the man who can govern his impulses, his appetites, and his reactions has already conquered more than armies could. Each morning when you speak these words, you remind yourself that your greatest enemy and your greatest ally are both within. Train the ally, subdue the enemy, and your outer life will align accordingly. Affirm, I am a man of vision. I see beyond what is to what can be. I do not accept appearances as final. I know reality is shaped by imagination and effort. Visionaries shape the world. Every building, invention, and achievement began in the unseen world of imagination. Those who lack vision live only in the present, limited to what they can touch. But those who rise each morning and affirm their vision sharpen the lens of imagination until it becomes clear and detailed. That vision then directs thought, and thought directs action, and action creates reality. Say to yourself, I am not ruled by the approval of others. I will do what is right, not what is popular. I will follow my conviction, not the fleeting applause of the crowd. Many men spend their lives chasing acceptance, bending and twisting themselves to fit into molds others have created. But the one who affirms each morning that he is guided by principle rather than opinion finds freedom. He acts with integrity, and though at first he may stand alone, in time the world turns to follow him. For nothing is more powerful than a man of principle. Declare, I will not waste this day in regret over yesterday or in worry over tomorrow. I live in this moment, and I will use it fully. Regret paralyzes and worry consumes. Both steal the energy of today. But when you begin each morning with the reminder that today is your only true possession, you are set free from both chains. You act decisively, you live presently, you pour yourself into the moment at hand. And when the present is lived well, the future takes care of itself. Affirm this, I am surrounded by opportunity. I will keep my eyes open, my ears attentive, and my mind alert. Where others see nothing, I will see the opening. Opportunity does not always arrive with banners and fanfare. Often it is quiet, hidden in the ordinary, disguised as difficulty. Most miss it because they are not prepared to recognize it. But by affirming each morning that you are attentive to opportunity, you prime your mind to notice what others overlook. And in time, it will seem as though Say, I am prepared to give my best effort today. I will not settle for mediocrity. I will strive for excellence in all that I do. Excellence is a habit, not an act. It is formed by the repeated choice to do a little more, to care a little more, to rise a little higher. Each morning when you affirm excellence, you raise the standard for yourself. You refuse to cut corners, to do just enough, to pass by unnoticed. Excellence builds reputation, and reputation builds influence, and influence opens doors no key could ever unlock. Declare, I will remain humble. I will not let success inflate my pride, nor will I allow recognition to blind me. I am always a student, always learning, always grateful. Humility protects a man from downfall, for history shows that pride comes before collapse, but humility ensures longevity. Each morning when you remind yourself of humility, you balance ambition with grace. You recognize that success is not yours alone, that others contribute, that chance plays a role, that life is a gift. This keeps you grounded, respected, and steady even as your achievements rise. Say, I am resilient in spirit and generous in heart. I will meet adversity with courage and prosperity with gratitude. Nothing will unbalance me, for I know who I am and what I stand for. Balance is a rare quality. Some are brave in hardship, but arrogant in success. Others are humble in good times, but crushed in difficulty. But the one who affirms each morning his balance between resilience and gratitude becomes steady in all conditions. He is not tossed by circumstance, but remains centered, strong, and clear. Repeat also, I will not wait for motivation to act. I will act, and through action, motivation will follow. Too many wait for a feeling before they move. They wait for inspiration, for enthusiasm, for excitement. But the truth is that feelings follow action, not the other way around. The man who rises each morning and declares that action comes first never waits. He moves, he works, he builds, and soon enough the feelings arrive to carry him further. This truth, practiced daily, ensures continuous progress.